Hello and welcome back to another episode of Farm and Life at Forge. So, if you're following along on Instagram, you will already know that just under 3 weeks ago, so about 2.5 weeks ago, Prune here, Prune here, had puppies! 4 adorable little pups. So they're just over 2 weeks old now. We have 2 males and 2 females, so Prune and Paco, Prune and Paco have had puppies. Hello. So both mother and the 4 pups are doing very well. So I just thought I'd update you on that. As for today's video, we're going to be showing you some cameras that we got sent by Shenzhen FXT Technology. I will leave a link below to their website. So they have sent us some reversing cameras to try out. Dad is going to be attaching them to the Manitou. So it's a split screen, so there's 2 cameras. So we're going to be setting them cameras up today and we're going to test them out. Then Dad is going to bring you around and show you some new projects that he has planned around the farm and show you some of the cattle that are up in the sheds and in the fields that are around the yard, including heifers that we're going to be keeping and some of the weanlings that are just about ready to go to the mart. And as for the silage, we are doing silage at the moment. I have a lot of it filmed and the video for the silage should be out at the end of the week, so hopefully I'll get that video done for Thursday or Friday. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you do, please give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel and ring the little bell notification to stay up to date on our farming lives here in France.
So here we're going to start fitting our camera on the Manitou. It came from Shenzhen Technology. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Laura will probably put it up on the screen. With this Manitou, there's a few blind spots. And even if you're well used to driving it or not, it's sometimes you're only chancing your arm, and it's safe as well. It's not that safe when you're chancing your arm. So there is the screen that fits in the cab. Your normal screen. We'll have that there. So it's a split screen. There's 2 cameras, that's what I mean. So you have 2 cameras that you only need to have, there's an aerial for them. Where the hell is the aerial? Where's the fit? Oh yeah. So there's the camera, either back or front, and there's an aerial on it. Now it's only powered by negative earth or whatever. So if you wanted it with the back camera, you could have it wired into the reversing light. So this side of the camera will come on when you're reversing. Now I might have the 2 of them on the whole time because as well as watching where I'm going, sometimes when I'm driving forward to see if there's someone following me, I can still see them. So there is a camera on the Hilux for reversing, but the minute you take it out of reverse, you can see nothing. So I think I'll probably wire it up direct with a switch when it's turned on, that it's on the whole time, not into reverse. So it came with 2 cameras. One, I hope to put one on the side and one at the back, because at the back is very blind spot as well, because the cab, as everyone knows, on a telescopic is to one side. So that's the plan for now. I hope to have them wired up that they're on the whole time. So the other camera then, well, I'll show you the same camera. Now, I hope to put the other camera somewhere here. So what I'll probably do when I have the screen and all in is to get someone to move it around to see where the best place is, and it has to be in a safe spot as well. So I was kind of really hoping I'd have it, I might even have to cut that and have it in there so it's not going to get hit off a button. Because sometimes you could be up the field and maybe a bush. So I'll probably put it in there. Now that light never got broke, so I'll probably put it in there, and the other one I'll put the same as that. Then I'll probably have to move it around to see where's the best place, but I'd say up there. Now nothing can hit it with the weights, and none of them ever got broke or damaged in all the years. So I'll probably put that one there, and I just see does it take the big wide angle and see how it works, because I think up in the cab you just won't see here, and so we'll see how wide the screen is and that, and I think it lights up and all itself. Okay, here we are, so putting on our, well, it's kind of just testing to see where we'll put on the cameras on the Manitou, because it is very blind. So we'll have this one just clamped on here. We'll have ice grips now for the minute, and it seems to be not too bad, but I'll have to put it down a bit and put something over it, because branches or anything would upset. I have the back one on. That was simple enough. So we'll have the back one on here. That light never got hit, so whether I put something over it or not, I don't know, just to save it. That's on there, and I'll just show you the screen now. It actually works better than I thought. So there is the back camera, and it'll tell you the distance with the three: red, yellow, green. So when you get close. So then that's the side, but the light now is not doing it good. There's the Manitou. I'll have to go up in the shed and show you. And there's the split. So that's the back. I can see it on the side. So I'll go up to the cattle shed now, and you'll see it better because the sun is reflected in there. Okay. Hop up there now. So we have it on the split camera now. So you can see along here is where the hay is. And sometimes the cattle will be eaten there. Well, they're not eaten now. And you can see the maize along here. So it's actually a great job. And the back. So, well, there one might see. So, no, I think it's very clear. It's very clear and very safe as well. Mainly for that side, even for myself. For that side with the cattle, they're always kind of watching. And as well as that, you can see the bonnet. It has got a few, well, this machine now is 2004, so it has got a few scrapes in that. So hopefully that'll stop that, because I'm always planning on spraying that bonnet, but then would it be a waste of time. So I'm just going to fix this now and put a nice little cover around it so it doesn't get, and tidy up the wire with cable ties and that. So the only power that's going to it is the power for the camera. Other than that, it's wireless, so it doesn't matter. You've only the one cable going, and the back is the same. But I have them now on the ignition switch, so when I turn it off, it's off. And you can turn off the camera as well. You don't have to have it on, even if the machine is running. There's a switch on it for turning it off, and you have the choice on the screen then of having it just the reversing camera, just the side one, or the two together. I like the two together so far, but especially in here. So hopefully now the next time you see it, I'll have this done, and I might put a cover over the back. So at the moment I only have the screen stuck onto the windscreen. It's working okay, because the cab on this is so small, it's difficult to find a place to not be blocking the vision. So it's working well there now, and I'm happy enough with it. Okay, so I'm back here at the camera to finish it off. I was going to go mow, but we're promised a storm. So I've made this bracket here, well, I'm not finished, and I'm hoping this will go in there like that. So the aerial and the wire will come out the back, touching nothing. That will attach to the frame. So I just have to put a kind of a cover over, a kind of an L-shaped cover over it there. Bore 2 holes there somewhere. Bore 2 holes there so the camera can actually swivel on the so the bracket. Now I'm going to cut a small little bit off of that there and there, and that will let the camera in another little bit, and it'll be right there. So I'll just cut that little corner off there and I'll have it looking nice, and that one. So then here then I'll put a little L shape cover on it, and that can be cut off there. So the squiggly line is a cut off. Oh, we'll put the cover there. Yeah. And that'll let that end in. And that's the back of it there now. There's lots of room to play around. The wires are touching nothing. And I have some of this paint in, and I have to put a mirror. And that'll do it. So now, that's me cover, me camera, and me there. So, just to move it in now a small bit and take it on, Bob's your uncle. So we'll colour it up a bit. Check them out.
Huh?
Check them out.
But you told me not to put an owl out at daylight.
So the dog will kill him, will it?
Prune's not in there.
Well then they'll let him there for a while.
He's not going to kill the pups.
No, he's not. It's only tiny little.
You go carry a pup.
So, now it is. I think it looks pretty good myself. Just behind the mirror now. There it is. So, this admits it. It'll be a hard bit. So, this is the other side of the Berlin Wall. So we'll have another shed there. It's handy for cattle going in and out the whole time. Now we just stacked them there this year because they're handy for the beginning of the year for using them. So I want to put another Berlin Wall from, well, call them Berlin Wall, from the corner of that shed over there to maybe between the two trees. So then we'll have 3 sections. So this pen here now, we used to let out the sideway here, but then you couldn't let the cattle out the other shed. And I find it great, no matter what frosty winter morning you come out, you always find them lying outside. And it's a dream. So we put them windows in it there a couple of years ago. Some of you might have seen it. And I'm going to put a door in the middle here there. So then they'll have this section, and I have enough of galvanised for it to do it as well, I think. So I'll probably cut the top of that. I had planned to do it before this. The other side of the wall doesn't look as bad this side. So all this stuff was here, as I said before, and there's enough stuff, and we have it at a kind of an angle, so if the wind hits it, it was done on purpose, believe it or not. So we just have them bolted on there. It's good and steady. Whether I'll probably cut along the top just to I don't like the look of it myself, but it actually works better than it looks. And I'll do the same over there now. And even for cows calving, it's going to have as many smaller places as you can for cows that's calving. So that's the next project now, in between other jobs. And we still have a gateway down there that will have access through them all. So yeah, that's what I want to do now. Put one there in that bay that has no window, and that should work well. So then we'll have 3 places there, and we'll have 3 other small fields as well that do as well for cattle in the winter and for calving. So there is 6 little small lads. There's 4 of them comrades, the twins, and one had hurt his foot and he didn't do that well, so we took him away. And the mother had no milk, so they'll do okay. They're okay, only just they got a bad doing, and they're coming okay now. You can see they're very young, they're hard and they're very short on the small lad. So this is, we call the triangle. It's another small little section and has good access into the yard. All of them have good access, and then we have this, we call this the backyard, and this is our pad. So the bulls will go in there now when I get them all used to one another. There was heifers in there all winter. So yeah, and then we call this the field. Now all the field here, that used to be a wood, and if you ever heard of John B. King, his story of the field and all, so that's why we call it the field. That was a complete wood. We left an odd tree. We have a couple of cows there that's fattening, and we have a trot there for it, and it's another handy place for a small bunch of cows around it, and they have access here again. So you can't have enough of the small places. Even for a cow that have been sick, or a bull that's lame or anything like that, you'll always have problems. It's better than having them stuck in the shed all the time. So yeah, that's it. There's a few changes we're going to do in the shed here now. I'll show you that we need. So like you have access, these 2 gates close here, and all that side of the shed comes around this way in here. So this trough here, it's always leaking. I have to turn it off now for the summer, so I'm going to put one that to stick their head out through the wall if I come on a good one. And here, this pane here, when I go in there, on this section here, it's hard. They're one of the French gates, and it's hard to open, and sometimes if you open it, if it's packed with cattle, it's hard to close. So I want to put a small little walkway through gate here, and just to make life a bit easy. And then Sometimes then this piece here is a pain as well at the end of the shoot. So if you had put cows in here the night before, they're going to the abattoir or whatever, this gate swings around here and closes there. Sometimes we put a cow in here or something, but there's no water. So whether I put it here, could it be the road barrier? But the only thing, when I swing this gate around, this is act as a crush, it's at the back of the crush, whether it's a problem or not, or I cut a hole in the wall and put one there. I have to go look at a few troughs now and see. So, kind of bait here with the sliding door to put one. So, probably have to put one here. I put the pipe all along on the outside. Now we do draw the water up, but it's just extra work, that's all. And that's it. Just a few little things to make life a bit simple. And then up here where I had put the pro dig or bow steel, sorry, where I had bow steel gate. Now I find having the crush under cover for winter or summer a great job, because you're usually going at these jobs when you can't go at other jobs, either in the rain or if it's too hot. So that's the bow steel gate you all seen. So if I put a cow in here now, we're back to square one again. There's no water. So whether I put a trough someplace here, probably have to be someplace there or there, and it won't be such a big ordeal to get the water to this one. And now I know it'll probably freeze, but we'll have to put up with that. All our other troughs don't freeze. They're all set up for ice. So that's it. Now last year we sheeted all these gates. They used to be see-through and works way better. So if there's someone standing out there and the cattle are coming up the crush, well, they don't get to stop. Or say here then at the back of the chute, if you want to work here, we sheeted this gate, because when you blanket off, they don't try to, once it's a blank wall, they don't try to get out. So and then you can work on whatever you're here, and this gate then swings back out of the way there. That works a treat. Now we only upgraded that a bit. The bars were okay, but they weren't as good as sheeting. We looked at a lot of crushes before we put this up, and having the head of the crush at an angle works a treat, because they'll always shoot up and there's no back and back. But if it's completely long and you're trying to get their heads out, well, you will, but it's not as good. Having it at an angle, plus it works really well. And we see, I don't forget where I seen that somewhere, but it was in some of the co-ops, and it works a treat. So actually they told me to put it at an angle. So we had this little shed over it first. That's why that's little shed within a shed. So okay. So now I'm here at the other side of the wall, at the back of the shed. The heifers or cows, and the winter is cows and calves going out there. It's a good dry spot. Now it does get a small little bit mucky here, but so here we have some young heifers. We went there about 10 days ago. I forget how many is in it. And that's the other side of the big galvanized wall I put up a few years ago. Doesn't look the best, but it actually works very good. Great job for cattle that they don't see one another, and it's sheltered, and they all lie there, and there's no one. Cattle can eye one another, especially bulls, through the fence. If you had that, just the fence. So now it costs a lot to put it in gates. So they lie down there, and this is the place here that we used to keep bits of scrap and stored machinery, and we don't actually use it that much now. There's still a bit of stuff there. So them old cubicles came in one of the second-hand sheds we took down a few years ago. I'm going to keep them because I always use them for bits and pieces, just to put them somewhere better. There's an old push-off book right there. Don't use it that often either. So, and there's a bale grab or a bale loader. That it's an extension for the front of a loader to put bales up 4 high or 5. Don't use that either. That was on the farm, and the telescopic does it for us. So I might take this over now, and that feeder there that we leave there all winter, we leave that even though the cows go in and out of the shed. They have 2 places. Even though they go in and out of the shed, we still put either a bale of hay or straw in that. So when they come out here, they're picking the whole time. Now it doesn't matter what frosty weather you have, or what, unless it's pouring rain, you'll always find them lying out here in the winter, in the mornings when you come out. Another thing I probably will do is put a few spotlights out, because sometimes if I'm sowing corn or whatever, I'll come back late and I haven't seen them, or Emily hasn't, or Emily is late back with me if we're somewhere. Well, I find it hard to rest unless I go through them all. Now we have a big torch and we do go around, but I was thinking if I had a light that beams down on the tree. We'll have 3 sections now after this, and it should work really well. Now the heifers come in there and they have access to straw which to eat. Now we're baling silage and hay and everything, so we're bringing back all the bits of bales, and there's more wetlands there and there's more wetlands there. So instead of leaving bits of bales or wrapping a bale that's too small, we bring it back, and it does the goats as well. So that works well. So that shed there came from Ireland, 14 days long. Good job. So on the water truss, as I was telling you there earlier, I have to just look now and see. There's the water truss that's here. See there. They work well, so I have to just see what sort of a water trough with a ball cork I can get over here. Whether plastic or steel, big ones. Just to want something to break, that's all. And hopefully I'll be doing that, kind of planning these jobs now, even though we're very busy at hay, and we're very busy at hay and we're wrapping silage. That's what I'm going at now. So you just get the days, and we don't like to waste days, so we'll be having all these jobs. We'll have a notice board in the office, and if it's a job for me or Emily or anyone else to do, they try to clear them off. So if it's even to service a tractor or move a combine or do whatever, them jobs are always put up. So last week now we got a lot of work done on the cattle. We got all the young cattle dosed, or we put boluses down their neck for dosing, and we got all the cows with calves at foot. We got their dung sampled to see. Older cows don't need to be dosed, so there was a few a bit dirty at the back, so we dosed them anyways, and that was it. So all that's all done now, so we'll be about the next month now at hay. You'll be kind of wondering how come I'm going to be a month at hay. Well, we're kind of at it on our own. And we cut like this morning, early this morning now, we cut, well, not too much, about 6 hectares. And then I rode, after that, after the breakfast then, I rode what I cut before that. It's for wrapping. It's actually clover. Over here they call it Treff Alexander. And I'm going to wrap that now. And then what I cut yesterday morning, I'll shake it out tomorrow. And I'll cut more tomorrow. And I kind of do it that way. Because last week, we did a few bits last week, but we did a few bits there last week. That's our baler there. We did some last week, but it was hard enough because there was storms over here. They call them orage. So it was just that you wouldn't have much comfort doing a lot of hay. So we're promised, I think 12 days now. Today and tomorrow are very good, but then we're promised storms after that. Not much, but there's a 70% chance. Which we want the storms. The maize is up now about that much. It's good. And I'm going off wrapping out with this with my welder, which I'm very pleased with. And because we bale out strong wood. Now the only fault I have with that baler is there isn't much, I'll show you there isn't much ground clearance. That's the only thing. Now I never got stuck with it, but I'd say maybe back in Ireland it would be a bit low for it, and it is very heavy. It's over 6 ton with no baler. And then if you have 2 big balers out, they're very heavy. So I'm going off baling now, and then if it's ready when the storms come, then I have this job here. I have to wash out the muck. So I have to take it out now into the field and scrape it all down. See? Scrape it all down and give it a good washing. Now it's very old, but it's working away. And all the chains are there, perfect. And there's some dung up there in the front of it. So scrape all that down in the field and wash it, let it dry off and oil it up. So I oiled up the plough there the other night. I just put some diesel and not burnt oil, hydraulic oil, and it just keeps it kind of fresh. So you can see there now where I was welding on bits because they wear, and there's some new bits on. So I have some more bits to weld on now before the autumn. That's it. Okay. So I'm here at TS, getting rid of rat silage. So we're actually making it dog friendly. These steps here are very dangerous for the dogs because we bring the dogs with us, and it's okay if you're standing here and the dog jumps up. If he kind of falls, you can lift him. If there was someone else in the tractor and the dog is used to some of us, and he jumps up and he sees there's someone else, he might just get a bit spooked and come back. So I've heard of a fella, actually a neighbour at home in Ireland, his dog went down here, he kind of fell back and he had to get his back leg chopped off because it was so badly damaged. So we're just, these little bits of aluminium, they're very simple, put them on there. Now I have to straighten that one and bend it down. I'll hardly bother with the bottom one because you know, they usually lip up here is all the problem. So I have enough there then. The TM is the same. I want to do the TM. Now the TL and the 7.7, there's 3 tractors okay on the Manitou. It's just these steps, if the paw goes in and they fall back, they just snap off their leg. So it's very dangerous. So it's only a simple thing, but it does exactly, it works perfect. So that's all.
So that's that for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.